Welcome to Coffee with Cannon. And I guess it's a Tuesday morning, right? So I just returned late last night from Florida. Last time I was speaking to you guys, I was in the Myakkahatchee Preserve in Northport, Florida. Hello, Maui Swift. How are you? So I'm back in Westchester County. You can see the beautiful colors. I spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I flew back last night to come back to Westchester Airport. If you guys aren't from Westchester, what an utter pleasure it is to fly into Westchester Airport. I'm only like 15 minutes from home. I don't have to drive into the city to deal with the LaGuardia nonsense or deal with Kennedy. And it was 2 hours and 45 minutes from Fort Myers, Florida to Westchester. Amazing, amazing. Hello, guys. I see a lot of people in the chat. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Angie Yang. Angie, I saw your promotional for your new site. Beautiful, really nice, really nice. So, what did you guys think of the Myakkahatchee Preserve? I know that the episode was cutting in and out. Rita Schaefer, good to see you, member for 2 months. I know the episode was cutting in and out a little bit because I had to rely on my not Wi-Fi on my phone, and it seemed like it did. Catherine D, hello from England. How are you? Angie Yang, yeah, I loved the intro. The intro was great. Um, so yeah, so I had to rely on my phone. But I mean, the place, the Myakkahatchee uh, Res- Creek Reserve was. There's Gisela. Gisela, you amaze me. You're on air all the time. Yay, backyard time. That's right. It's a coffee with Cannon. Here it goes, guys. How's everyone doing today? All right. Yeah, it's just, I mean, this is as nice as Florida. Florida was about, I guess, about 70, 75. Uh, and here it's beautiful too. It's just gorgeous. So I'm so happy today. Actually going back on the air today at 4 o'clock with Phil Grimaldi, my co-host, who's going through YouTube withdrawal right now because since I've been gone, he hasn't been able to get on the air. So he's anxious to get back on today. So it should be really great. And we're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to do two things. At 4 o'clock, we're going to do a show, and we're going to do a show at 7 o'clock. At 4 o'clock, we're going to touch upon that horrible thing that happened at that Travis Scott concert in at Astroland in Houston, Texas, and we're going to talk about what happened. And 8 people died at that concert, and even more were injured. So it's really horrible. It was from a crowd surge, and that's the scariest thing about being in a crowd. You can't predict the crowd's mood, and I know that from being a cop. You could see a crowd get real ugly real fast, and if you're in the middle of it, there's really not a hell of a lot you can do about it. You can try to get out of there, but in this instance, it happens. A crowd surge happens when people from the back start pushing forward. And obviously, if the people in the front are up against a wall, they can be crushed to death. And what it actually is something called, uh, it's like almost similar to restraint asphyxia. That's when your chest cannot expand in order for you to breathe. So your lungs will shut down, your heart will shut down, you go into cardiac arrest. And that's what I think happened at this concert. That crowd surge was a horrible, horrible, horrible thing, and there were 50,000 people at this outdoor concert. 50,000. So you can imagine, how loud it gets at a concert, and you can't even gauge what's going on in crowds because it's so big and there's so many different areas of a crowd. Uh, Emre and Dave the dog. I don't do big crowds. I'm short and it's scary for me. I almost got trampled at a concert once. Yeah, I don't like being in crowds either. Yeah, Maui Swifties had some similar episodes in other concerts, but this doesn't just happen in concerts. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but soccer games, this can happen. This has happened at European soccer games. They sold over 100,000 tickets. There were more than 50,000 people at that concert. Yeah, well, but there was no someone Jamie Johnson saying they need assigned seating, but it wasn't seating. People were standing, you know, people were standing up. So when you're standing up and a crowd wishes to push forward, that's why I think the security and the security design. There's something called well, in security, crime prevention through environmental design, and that's somewhat apropos to this situation because if you would put the people in like pens, fenced off in pens, but separate the pens by say like 5 yard intervals, then the pushing from the back they couldn't do it. They wouldn't be able to do that because they couldn't leave their pens to push forward, and that would somewhat. So the design of the security is extremely important. Hello, Scout Inquirer. How are you? Jen Lowe, Catherine D. Right, it should be cordoned off into different areas, and then this potentially could not happen. But it seems like sometimes the artist, in getting really into the concert, they start egging on the crowd to move forward, and that seems like to me a recipe for disaster. Mike Champlin, pens, no way. When I'm speaking about pens, is fenced-in areas where that they cannot push forward because they're penned in there, and like 5 or 10 yard separations between these pens. I believe that would work, and in between the pens, security guards that watches the crowd to see that they don't start pushing forward and causing the problems that they had at this concert. They had not, well, it wasn't exactly similar, but in 1991 at City College, at the City University, it's up north of Columbia University in Manhattan. It was actually P. Diddy or Puff Daddy or whatever he was called back then. He had a charity basketball game with a concert, and they oversold the concert. So there was a hallway leading into the gymnasium that was maybe 10 or 12 feet wide. And when people that had tickets realized they weren't getting in, they started pushing down that hallway. And the doors at the end of the hallway were locked, so people trapped in that corridor were crushed to death. And they had 8 or 9 deaths at that concert. And that was in 1991. And I believe that there was a very large lawsuits against City College, against the Marie Green. Hi, glad to see you, Marie Green. There were large lawsuits against City College, against the security, against even, I believe that Puff Daddy or P. Diddy, whatever he's called, he actually got sued and he was held liable personally. So he actually had to pay some of the damages out of his own pocket, because, as I said, there were 9 deaths as a result of that concert. And as I said, these soccer games that get crazy, they've had 50, 75, 200 people die at these soccer games where there's 100,000 people there. So will they learn from this? Let's hope so. 23 people were taken to nearby hospitals by emergency responders. Out of that, 11 of them were in cardiac arrest. And over 300 people were treated at a field hospital on the site. So 8 people died, but hundreds of people were injured in this case. Hello, Blondie 1025. Good to see you guys. This is Coffee with Cannon, as they call it. Coffee with Cannon. Cheers for all you guys. Great to see you back here. Even Josh. Josh must have just woke up because it's it's LA time for Josh. It is a beautiful day. It's a gorgeous day today. I think I'm gonna have a little water too, just because I talk so much. I could use a little water. We're talking about the 8 people that were killed at the Travis Scott concert at Astroland in Houston. And I'm going to cover this today at 4 o'clock with Phil Grimaldi, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. Thank you, Richella. Good to see you. Horrible event. We're going to go a little more in depth with it, but with Phil and I. Phil is dying to get back on the air. Phil straight out of Brooklyn. He's missing me, I guess. So I'm back now. So uh, after the Hillsborough disaster, they removed the pens at the football matches. Trish Beard, okay. So you're saying my idea is not a good one. Uh, I think when they do when they do the security for Times Square, that's what they do. They set up pens, and the pens are separated by, I think, like 10 yards or so between each one. So that the possibility, hello, Lieutenant Pete, the possibility of people pushing towards the front where there's going to be some kind of wall or barrier, it doesn't exist. So in New York City for Times Square, it works. I don't know if it would work. They're saying it doesn't work at these soccer games. Josh, yes, I had a great trip. It was beautiful. I was in Sanibel Island, which if you haven't been to Sanibel Island, just gorgeous. I mean, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young has a tune called Sanibel. Look it up. It's a beautiful song. One time I went to a restaurant there, and Lucky Honey Rose, hi Ken, I'm 5'1" and armpit level. I vote for assigned seating. Look, yeah, assigned seating, you're right, is probably the safest way not to have this. But when concert promoters, when they want to sell 50,000 tickets and there's no seats, there is no seats, that's when the security gets precarious. And I don't know if you can protect people when they're standing up, A little bit, yeah, this is called an Irish tan. It's also because I didn't shave today, too. This is what's, I get red. It takes me a while to get tanned. Polka Dot Suzanne, I love Marco Island. We were close to Marco Island. One of my friends lives there, and this time I didn't have a chance to go visit him because I wasn't down there. I wasn't down there for long enough. Some people love that lawn seating, but Dawn Marie, this wasn't even lawn seating. This was standing up. Okay, Hillsborough disaster was when too many fans got into the pens and the ones in the back started pushing forward. And when there's a wall and someone's up against that wall, they cannot move and their body cannot expand. They're to be able to breathe, and that's what happens. And they die of asphyxia or of cardiac arrest. It's a horrible, horrible thing. But you would think that through years and years and years of doing these large events that we would have learned something from it, But sure enough, every year, something somewhere in the world of this magnitude occurs. Richella Pranzo, you guys got a timeshare in Marco Island? Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful place. Gorgeous place. I mean, the West Coast, I'm more of an East Coast guy, but my wife likes the West Coast, but she wasn't there this time. But I like the East Coast. I like the ocean, The sound is beautiful, too. Guys, again, I just want to ask that if you're not subscribed to our YouTube, please go on our YouTube, subscribe, ring that bell, and give us a thumbs up, right? Give us a thumbs up. Age 9 at a concert like that under 21 should be now. Yeah, so we're going to get a little more in-depth into this at 4 o'clock, myself and Phil. Be great to get Phil back. And Jaden, there were 3 mosh pits that people were jumping over those barriers, security. What I never understood I never really got what a mosh pit was. That wasn't, I guess back in my day, people like slamming their bodies into each other. That's more of a club thing, right? I don't think you can really do that at a big concert venue. Cheers. This is Coffee with Cannon. Police off the cuff. It's good to be back to see you guys. Pat Travelina, go to Palm Coast at Finger Beach. Visit Route A1A. Beautiful strip of land. I'm sure it is. I haven't been everywhere, but yeah, we didn't do mosh pits when I was a kid. I mean, it's sort of a strange thing. People just slamming their bodies into each other, So what if you come up against some like tight end size guy like 6'5", 260, and you're gonna slam into him? You're gonna wind up going to the hospital, right? Nancy Eileen just saying, Bill, driving while listening. Hi, everyone. Good to see you, Eileen. With 4 coffee cups there. That I guess that's the new thumbs up. 4 coffee cups. If you like this, give me 4 coffee cups. Yeah. People still mush. Rita Schaefer. Oh no. I'd be Jen Lo. I'd be crushed in a mosh pit. All 5'2", 5'2" of me. Yeah, it's like not conducive, depending on what your size is. So, guys, the holidays are coming up, and if you like some of the police off the cuff merch, like this mug, for example, police off the cuff, and dipped in butter on the other side, order some for your. Go on our website, policeoffthecuff.com. Order some now for your family members, and look at all these. Everyone's putting up the 4 coffee mugs. I love that. That's great. I love that. Factual breakdown. It looks crazy to me. It's why it's the Beatles concert in UK, but just lots of screaming. Yeah, you ever watch the footage of the Beatles at Shea Stadium? They didn't have those huge PA systems back then, and the amplifiers they had were inadequate for the screaming and the amount of people they had there to get over the sound, to get over that crowd. But that was amazing, right? Amazing. The Beatles at Shea Stadium. What year was that? 65, 66? Rita Schaefer, look at her. You got the police off the cuff mugs too. Beautiful. Lady Honey Rose McKay, coffee in 12-ounce glass. That's risky though. The glass could break. Mike Champlin, thoughts of Kyle Rittenhouse with 4 coffee mugs. There's a lot of political views to that case. Some people on the right think he was totally justified. People on the left are like, what was he doing there with it? What was it, an AR-15 he had? Uh, Kelly Bates said her first concert was Aerosmith at 8 years old. Uh, Nancy Eileen, my first concert was Journey. Wow. I think one of the first concerts I went to was, we'll talk about 3 of the loudest bands on the planet Earth. It was Jay Giles, Black Sabbath, and Blue Oyster Cult on the same ticket. And my friend's uncle was like the rock promoter. So we were in like the first 3 rows. We were in the first row or the 3rd row. And I tell you something, if I have any loss of hearing, it was from that concert. They were so damn loud. Black Sabbath, oh my God. That was before Ozzy Osbourne was as famous as he is now, but that was one hell of a loud concert. Yeah, crazy. Digital Spark, Alicia B. My first concert was Rolling Stones at Soldier Field in Chicago. Felt safe, but I was a dumb kid. Rolling Stones are great, huh? Could you imagine they've been together more than 50 years? And I think Mick Jagger's got to be like, I don't know. Someone Google it. He's probably like 73, 74 years old. Keith Richards, he's a modern marvel of science. That guy's still alive, right? He was a heroin addict. He's lived through all this stuff, and he's my first, Deborah Barron. My first was Clapton. My favorite is Billy Joel. Billy Joel now he doesn't tour anymore. He just plays the Garden. He sold out the Garden. He has the record for selling out the Garden. Banjo Zep 7. I love Blue Oyster Cult. I don't think they're around anymore, though, right? They got to be a real old band. Bob Seger, he's great. The Strolling Bones, I like that one. Lorna McKenzie, at Marie. So, guys, another thing I'm just going to touch upon. At 7 o'clock tonight, Phil and I are going to talk about, there's been so much on the Brian Laundrie and the Gabby Petito case. In fact, I don't know if most of you guys yesterday saw me, but I was at Myakkahatchee Creek Reserve in Northport, Florida. And I actually was in the very area that they were searching for Brian Laundrie. And a beautiful, beautiful reserve, but yet a little bit spooky to me. A little spooky because, when you walk down these little paths, first of all, I didn't go too far from the parking lot because every time I went far away from the parking lot, I lost my signal. So I tried to stay, and I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but it seemed the further I went into the park, the less of a signal I had. So I tried to stay close to the park, but it was unbelievable. I didn't really at that point see any animals, but I was thinking about, imagine how spooky it would be here to camp here in a tent. There's no way I would sleep out there in a tent. You know, they got wild boars, they got mountain lions, they got all of these snakes, alligators. You know, some people think that Brian Laundrie was killed by an alligator. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they. There's no evidence of that, but I know Duty Ron had an alligator specialist on his show. I think it was last week, and the show's like off the charts. So obviously, he got a lot of traction. A lot of people are listening to that show. So I mean, is that a possibility? So all they did recover in regards to Brian Laundrie was skeletalized remains. So a regular type autopsy may not be able to uncover the manner or the cause of death. So, hello, Rita Schaefer. We all love Duty Ron. Duty Run's the man, right? He's on a roll. He's at 118,000 subscribers. You know, I'm trying to get some of his subscribers over here. You know, so Duty Run helps me out a lot. He's helped me tremendously to build this channel. You know, Rita Schaefer. Hello, Lorna McKenzie. Where's all my my UK people and you Irish people, Dublin and Galway and Clonakilty and Belfast, and where are all you guys? John Donahue, welcome home. Did you ever hear of, in my opinion, about him? Yes, I have heard of Mr. Clean. He was a gym instructor. Thank you, Mr. Donahue, for the $9.99 super chat. Yeah, Brian is Duty Run had the Gator guy on. In fact, when I get a chance, I gotta watch some of that because I didn't get a chance to watch it. Mickey V from Sweden, Catherine, me from the UK. Good to hear the UK people from across the pond, as they say. John Donahue, Australia, 2.1% audience. South Buffalo, home of the Irish. You know, I'm an alumnus of Buffalo State College, so I have a soft spot in my heart for Buffalo, even though my team was the New York Jets, and when I was in college, Buffalo always beat the New York Jets, you know. And I don't know if the person that was from Buffalo, if you remember Joe Ferguson, who was the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills back then, a long, long time ago, but he was a great quarterback. Carol Loving Alaska, good to see you guys. So, getting back to the Brian Laundrie case, another YouTube content provider last week, he had a big charity benefit live on the air. And one of his guests was Dog, you know, Dog the Bounty Hunter. And Dog the Bounty Hunter, in his infinite wisdom, said that he didn't think that the remains that they found that was reported to be Brian Laundrie are his. He thinks they faked it. I mean, I just shake my head. I don't even know whether to give that any credence whatsoever. It's so ridiculous. If the local law enforcement and the FBI and all these scientists, the medical examiner, they go there, and one of the definitive things they checked were his odontology, which is his dental work, and they identified it as being Brian Laundrie. I think that's okay with me. I think I'm going to take that as a positive hit, and then of course they'll follow it up with DNA, and they'll positively. Josh, you leaving already? Good to see you, Josh. Josh is our producer, and actually I got him from Duty Run. He's Duty Run's producer too. He's great. Thrilled to have him. Wales, good to misdemeanor from Wales. Good to see you guys. Marie Green, Joshua Bai, Missy Kate, Maui Smith, looking for another really good show. Yeah, well, as I said, 4 o'clock we're going to talk about the Travis Scott concert, and then at 7 o'clock we're going to talk about Brian Laundrie. One of the big things too is the evidence of his death. Did they have a cause of death? When we speak about Manner of death. Manner of death. There's four ways: homicide, suicide, natural, or accidental. All right. Can they rule Brian Laundrie's death a homicide? No. Can they rule it a suicide? So far, no. Can they rule it accidental? No. Can they rule it natural? I don't think so. So I don't know. I'm sure there's anthropologists working as we speak to try to determine what his manner of death is. And then after the manner of death, they want to know the cause of death. Was it asphyxia? Was it blunt trauma? Was it poisoning? Was it being attacked by an animal? Was it a gunshot wound? Marie Green, dog wants more bleach for that hair of his. To me, dog is like a cartoon character that, in this world of these reality TV shows, it's become almost like Melanie H showing some Grizzly support to one of our favorite guests. Thank you, Melanie H, for the $10 super chat. I really appreciate it. And Melanie H, I hope you're subscribed to Police Off the Cuff, Real Crime Stories. We appreciate the $10 super chat. Jamie Johnson, they have to inspect every single bone. 100% correct. So it's an amazing thing to me, guys. Today is it's the 9th of November. And before you know it, it's going to be Thanksgiving. Does everyone out in the chat celebrate Thanksgiving? Put a 1 up there. Or put a turkey. Anyone got a turkey emoji? Put a turkey emoji in the chat if you celebrate Thanksgiving. I hope I didn't come up with something that's impossible to find in the emojis. Come on, let me see some turkeys. Turkey 1, all right. Oh, there you go. Jamie Johnson found the turkeys. Excellent. Excellent, Jamie Johnson. Maui Swift, you celebrate Thanksgiving in October in Canada? Wow. Nancy Eileen, I'll watch tonight. You will get there, Bill. You're awesome too. Bye to you and everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Look at all those turkey emojis. Love it. Martha Carlson, Jitterbug, Mimo, Turkey 1. That's beautiful. And you guys found the turkey emojis. Fantastic. Fantastic. So, this Thanksgiving, I actually this is the first time in the history for my family. I think Thanksgiving is just going to be my wife and I, and I think we're going to go out somewhere and have Thanksgiving. And we want it that way. We want to just be together. And one son's going to his girlfriend's house, and the other one's going to be in Denver. So I doubt he's just leaving tomorrow. I doubt he's coming back for Thanksgiving. Could you imagine what a airline ticket would be to come back east for Thanksgiving? I don't think he has that kind of money to do that, Angie Yang says you can keep the turkey. I'll take the sides. Jenlo, pumpkin pie priorities. Look at all those turkey emojis. You guys are very... You find it all over. Canada's October, Kathy Bates says. Yes, Maui Swift said that Thanksgiving is in October in Canada. Not all countries celebrate Thanksgiving because it was like, the whole story about the Pilgrims and Plymouth Rock and founding the first colony in the United States, Jamestown. Remember all of that stuff? And I'm surprised some of the social justice warriors don't try to cancel Thanksgiving, saying the Pilgrims were, we know the history. I don't want to get into it, right? Thank you, Dawn Marie. Oh, wow, Jamie Johnson, Rita Schaefer. Good to see you, all you guys. So one of the things we're waiting for in the Brian Laundrie case, of course, is the findings of the anthropologists. What will the scattered property tell us? Some of the notebook. Was there anything written in that notebook? Was that notebook salvageable? Did that notebook was it dry enough to read it, or did the ink get all smeared and was the notebook destroyed? His clothing. Could there be anything on his clothing? I mean, most of you guys, I think that in the chat, I don't know how many of you have seen homicide crime scenes. Probably very few of you, but Rot Hound. Now I'm craving turkey. Yep, always done in October. Don't mind having it. Hello, Misty Cafe. That's from Angela Eng. You know, I love turkey and stuff. My favorite thing after Thanksgiving is that night to have a turkey, stuffing, and cranberry sauce sandwich with mayonnaise on white bread. It's like I live for that more than for the Thanksgiving dinner. You know, it's just that's what I always want. Oh, it's 8 o'clock. I gotta have my turkey. Or even sometimes I'll wake up early in the morning and have a Catherine D. 11/11. We have Remembered Day. 14. We remembered Sunday for the end of Second World War. No Thanksgiving. Margot Sieg. Oh, yeah. So I love to have a turkey, white meat turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and mayo on white bread. It's unbelievable. Sometimes I'll have it for breakfast, you know, the morning after Thanksgiving. And I like that almost better than Thanksgiving. That looking forward to that sandwich, you know. Uh, Anyone else have any other kind of, oh, you know, the desserts? We always seem to wind up giving away tons of desserts because everyone brings a pie or something, you know. I've had we've had Thanksgiving at my house more than anyone else has. We've had as many as like 25 people here, and then it just becomes so much work that you know I'm looking forward just to go somewhere, sit down, have someone serve me, and back at the house we'll have a white turkey breast, stuffing, and some cranberry sauce so I can have my sandwiches later on that night or the next day. You know. Uh, Turkey soup, turkey everything, says Jen Lo. Stuffing is my favorite side dish. I love stuffing. You know, I could just eat. I mean, I'm always getting my hand hit with the wooden spoon for going in the turkey before it's done, pulling out some of the stuffing. But I always like Thanksgiving. Lieutenant Pete and Richella, you guys must have the turkey, the stuffing, and you must also have the Italian Thanksgiving, right? Italians do that. They have some pasta, they have some other stuff, but the turkey and all that stuff is so heavy. I can't imagine also eating all the pasta and stuff, but it's tradition for my Italian friends, you know. It's so much food to have. Uh, Someone said I make many different types of stuffing. Factual breakdown, I'm making prime rib with roasted red potatoes and fresh string beans. Oof, that sounds good. Rita Schaefer, lasagna. I love lasagna, but I don't think I can eat lasagna with turkey and stuffing. I don't know if that mixes so well, you know. But it's funny how we start out talking about the Brian Laundrie case, and then we're talking about food. We're talking about Thanksgiving Day. Cheers to all of my police off the cuff members. Coffee with Cannon. Uh, I love this show. This show is fun. You know, I get to talk to all you guys. Someone yesterday said to me, he goes, "Oh, why don't you just talk to us and not call out people's names?" And I said, "But, you know, if you're listening now, that's the fun part. And also people that are in the chat like to hear their names called out. You know, they like to get some attention, you know? Don't you guys like to get some attention? Give me a one if you like to get some attention, you know? Because that'd be boring. Yeah, if I just didn't call out anyone's name, I mean, you guys, it's not fun, you know? Pecan pie. Maui Swift, yes, you like the attention. Connie, my flipping life, she likes the attention. That's why, guys. Look at all the ones flying out of the woodwork. Everyone likes to have their name called. Joey, D4, yes. Everyone likes to have their name called out. Everyone likes it to be known that they're appreciated, right? Me too. I love it when you guys show me your love, you know, and tell me that you like the show, you know. It's a great thing. Coffee with you is fun, Jamie Johnson. Cheers, Jamie. Cheers. And you love my garden, or is it my yard? Or does it matter? It's just the beauty of being outside and getting to talk to you guys, you know. Thank you, guys. Molly Nee, I don't know if I can pronounce Darcy. I appreciate you, Bill. Thank you. Thank you so much. Alicia B, Dawn Marie, Missy Kate, Connie, My Flipping Life, Kathy Bates, pumpkin cheesecake. Oh my God, that's amazing, right? Gary Strick still showing those turkey emojis. Misdemeanor makes me feel famous. I like Catherine D. I like to see the garden. Yes, we all love the garden, right? So, guys, I just crossed the 35-minute mark, and it's amazing how fast this goes. And I was so looking forward to doing it today because even though I was doing those shows in Sanibel Island, this is the place I like to do Coffee with Cannon, right? In my own backyard, talking to you guys. Everyone's putting up food, candy, sweet potatoes. Oh my God. Amanda Lee Berry, it's a garden. Okay, we're back in the garden. It's so nice to be talking to you guys from my own yard and not, even though Sanibel Island was, I mean, it was gorgeous, right? It was really gorgeous. And it is a beautiful day. It's an amazing, amazing day. So, guys, at 35 minutes and 55 seconds, I'm going to say goodbye to you. And at 4 o'clock, I'm going to be on with Phil Grimaldi. We're going to be talking about the Travis Scott concert. And then at 7, we're going to do a second show, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Brian Laundrie case and talk about where it's going from here, you know. And I'd appreciate if you guys could join us then. Melanie H., thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You guys are great. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Sue M. I'm going to tell Mrs. Cannon she's doing well. She's getting stronger every day. You know, so strong she's going to beat me up soon, you know, but she's getting stronger every day. She's losing weight, actually, you know, the unintended good things that happen from surgery sometimes, you know. You get to lose some weight. But it's so great to see all you guys. I'm glad to be back. And you guys are going to get to see Phil at 4 o'clock and at 7 o'clock. So on behalf of Coffee with Cannon, thank you so much for joining me, and have a safe day, and I'll see you at 4 o'clock. Bye now.